welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy, and today we'll be on part 21. So let's go talk to Sebastian here in the Undercroft and recap what happened
Did you
last
speak with my
episode.
uncle?
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh. That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good. I should send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you?
We just lost our parents, and we were packing up to go and live with Solomon. We couldn't take everything. She was carefully organizing her prized possessions, a box of artifacts she'd collected to do with our family. Jewelry, cards, old photographs. She got to her favorite, a handmade crest, and without a second thought, she handed it to me. "This will keep you safe," she said. "It holds no enchantment, but I've kept it with me since. That's how I can reach Anne. I'll get the crest to her with plans to meet."
Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it, or be expelled.
Even if Ominous is upset with us, he has no love lost for his family. He'd use their connections to the headmaster if we needed his help.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this. I'll send you an owl when I have news.
Right, well, it seems like Sebastian and his uncle have kind of a frayed relationship, especially now that he's seen Sebastian use an unforgivable curse. But it looks like he's still good with his sister, so let's move on and see what's next. Alright, so it looks like Poppy wants to discuss what happened after we turned the dragon's egg. So let's go talk to her around the Hogwarts area and let's see what we can do. Alright, let's go check it out.
Oh good, you're safe.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers?
They could make more money with Snidgets than they ever would have fighting dragons. The golden Snidget's feathers and eyes are incredibly valuable. That's why they're believed to be extinct. They were hunted out of existence by wizard kind. If the poachers found some now, I can't bear to think about the horrific way they'd be bred and killed for profit.
Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden?
Gran says the journals were a bit cryptic, which is good. Perhaps the poachers won't be clever enough to find the birds. From what she recalls, the journals only noted that the key to finding them lay in the moonlight. Gran thinks it can be narrowed down to a handful of locations.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Oh man, that's tough. When we do the good thing, we do the right thing, and correct a wrong that the bad guys have done, of course they're gonna retaliate, so that's tough. But we'll wait on what Poppy has to say, and when we come up with a plan, we'll have a revenge tour and show some justice against them. So let's see what we got to do next. But Hogwarts in winter is so beautiful. Alright, well it seems like Sebastian sent us an owl, so go ahead and meet him at the northern part of the map and over at the overlook. So let's see what he has in store for us, and let's go help him out. Hopefully we can do good this time and not use an unforgivable curse, so to speak.
Not sure what I did to deserve that.
I came as soon as I could.
I'd been so preoccupied by all that happened with Ominis in the catacomb, not to mention my uncle's reaction, that I'd almost forgotten what it was that struck me about that triptych. This is the view painted on the canvas that was left on it.
That's incredible. You know this area well.
And while I was waiting for you, I scouted around and discovered an abandoned mine nearby, surrounded by Ranrock's loyalists.
Do you think there's a connection to the triptych?
I've no idea, but perhaps they're searching it, the way they did Rookwood Castle and Isidora's Manor. How do we want to handle this?
We need to see what they're doing. I say we take them head on. Let's bury some enemies.
Very well.
And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again.
After you.
There they are up ahead.
I'll let you lead.
I like that we were given an option to try a stealthy approach or just full blazing out, you know. But the thing with me trying to go all sneakily is that whenever I try to do that, the enemy always detects me for whatever reason. Usually it's for some really minute thing. So I figured it'd probably be better if we went full out, because that's what always ends up happening anyway. So let's make our way to the mine and let's see what that painting referred to earlier that we found in the catacombs. But should be interesting to find. And you know, if Ranrock's loyalists are already here, I'm presuming it might have something to do with ancient magic. You know, the thing that we're completing trials for, and you know, the ancient magic that Professor Fig's wife was really learning and studying about, and you know, what me and Professor Fig are trying to uncover now. So this should be a really fun mission, and we get to go through the goblin mines again. You know, that's where they find the material to create goblin metal and things like Ravenclaw's diadem, even Godric Gryffindor's sword. So I know that's been a hot debate between the wizarding world and the goblin world. So seems like Lodgok is very mild-mannered, and it seems like he respects anyone that can respect goblin kind. And you know, although he has some views that are similar to Ranrock, the bad guy, he seems to be very grounded in his philosophy. So let's continue on and let's defeat these loyalists, and let's go in search of the mines and see what we can find out. Should be interesting to see. There we go, there's the last one, and the mine entrance should be pretty close to where we are, but we're at level 25. We're almost there, leveling up, And there we go. Looks like the entrance to the mine is straightforward. And I'm going to presume, just like most of the level layouts that are designed throughout this game, it's going to be another dungeon type of area. So let's see if there's anything hidden out here. We just found a chest, which is really cool. But let's see if we can find any other goodies. Because if not, I think we'll head towards the entrance of the mine. But okay, I see. This was a passageway that we could have used to get around the loyalists if I guess we chose the stealthier mode. But, you know, at the end of the day, even if I go stealthy, always ends up going full blazing. So, made sense for me to choose that option the first time around. But let's go into this dungeon and let's go into the goblin mines. Should be interesting to see. One thing I've noticed about this game while playing it and editing it is whenever we enter into combat with some of our opponents, the sound level of the game increases to a very high level. More so than when we're having cutscenes or when we're talking to our classmates and fellow people. It is just incredible to notice the sound difference between the two. It looks like we found a little side area that gave us an extra bit of items, and you know, that's one thing I really recommend when playing this game, is to just explore as much as you can and use the spell Revelio as much as you can, because that'll help uncover a lot of things that are maybe hidden to our regular eye when we're just going through the game. But off camera, off the main quests and some of the side missions, you know, I've been exploring the world of the Hogwarts area so much, and there's so many things to do. If you believe it or not, there are 96 Merlin missions, or something really close to that. Somewhere in the 90s. There's that many things. And, you know, so many side characters and shopkeepers that you can help with little tasks here and there. But this world is really fun to explore and to just experience. So, you know, if you guys were playing this game, you know, what type of character would you probably build? Would you build a character like mine in the sense of being a good Gryffindor, you know, just following the rules and trying to find the moral high ground? Or would you be a little more studious, be class orientated like a Ravenclaw? Or would you be, you know, the caring, cherishing type for a Hufflepuff? Or would you be the cunning, you know, sharp-witted Slytherin? You know, let us know in the comments below, because that's something that's I'm curious about and want to know, because each person for sure wants to choose a different house for different reasons, or, you know, to even follow the mold. So very interesting to hear from the community what they think. But looks like with Sebastian, we're gonna try and find rune symbols throughout this mine, and we got a whole nother spider to take on, and it's ranked a little higher than us, so might be a little tough, but it looks like we're making quick work of them. So that's nice to see. But let's progress forward, get some coins. And another thing throughout this game are those broom upgrades, and some of the classwork that the professors assign us include buying things from shops, such as plants for herbology, and then even for potion making. And there's always broom upgrades, so it's important to make sure you collect as many coins as you can, because they can be hard to come by and hard to save up for sometimes, time and time again. So that's something to be wary about. And oh man, we got Devil's Snare right here, getting attacked quite much. A little too much damage than I would like. So let's head back. Let's try to use Lumos, because we don't want to get stuck by Devil's Snare, and we want to move forward. So There we go. Looks like we can get up barely. But we got treasure here. Let's open it up. Oh man, we don't have gear slots, so that's unfortunate. But let's use Lumos again. Get out of the devil snare. And that is quite common throughout this game. There's a fair share of devil snare. And that spider animation when looking over us and we squat down and get through a walkway, that can be frightening sometimes because it just jumps at you. Like that crouching, sometimes there's spiders that pop up.
I think
so
we're going to be a bit
that
distracted
can
from
catch
runes
you
for a
off
moment.
guard and by surprise sometimes. So just be
We have
aware of
another
that
fight
if you were
on
to
our
play
hands.
this game. Oh man, looks like we got a giant battlefield here. So let's equip ourselves with the most useful spells. There we go. We're taking care of these loyalist warriors. Those exploding red barrels come in quite handy. So, you know, make sure you have spell sets for each type of situation. You know, one for puzzle solving and one for combat, because you're gonna have to adjust them quite often. And even for beast catching, animal catching, because that'll come quite in handy. Now I know Deep was telling us we could sell the animals, but I haven't resorted to that. I've only caught a few of them, and the ones that I have caught, you know, I've been taking good care of them out in the zone of requirements. But man, those big venomous matriarchs are tough opponents sometimes. So good thing we got them with one of the Imperio curse, so we can control it to go against their allies. So that'll come quite in handy. And off on the sideline, I'm starting to see some runes, so I'm guessing we'll have to basic cast on them to move forward. So yeah, I've seen the one gripe I have with this game, I guess, is the opponent types are very similar. You encounter the same ones time and time again, and then the puzzles revolve around the same mechanics. You know, some of the trial ones go through those different realities, those portals, and then some of the ancient magic stuff's just a matter of finding runes and activating them with the basic
Ranrock's
cast
loyalists
spell.
never
So
knew to look for it.
let's get the runes, because I think I saw a couple of them here already, so I believe that'll be our path forward. So let's go do that. Alright, but maybe before we hit some of the runes, we can explore a little bit and see if there's any hidden chests around here. And it looks like we got a bag, and maybe an area we can platform move around. So let's see if there's any place that we can climb up and maybe find some hidden chests. There we go. There's one of the platforms for us. I see a rune to the right as well, so let's activate that real quick. And usually there are 3 runes that we have to activate for us to be able to unlock the door. There we go. We have a second one. And there was one more that I saw that I can't remember right off the bat. I think it's somewhere off to the right. So there we go. There's the last one, I believe. That should be enough to activate the door. There we go. Let's go on through. We got some chamber here. Well, we got through a lot of the goblin loyalists already, so that's a good thing. Got a note here. We got Isidora's notes. Okay, there we go. Isidora's the girl in the flashback that we see in the pensive. That's kind of delving into the dark arts as well and ancient magic. So let's go talk to Sebastian about it real quick.
What do you have there?
A journal entry by Isadora.
Hopefully it will help us unravel more of this mystery.
Sebastian, I think I found something. A canvas piece.
Brilliant. Our efforts weren't in vain after all. Still, something about this place feels odd.
If the triptych led us here to find this bit of canvas, we can probably assume that Isadora Morganark was here.
She seems to have been everywhere.
But if she was using the Undercroft, and the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, Why would she create this space?
And why hide it behind cryptic rune symbols and ancient magic that no one but you could see?
Isadora and Percival Rackham, another of the Keepers, could see traces of ancient magic too.
Rackham? I haven't heard his name before.
His are some of the memories I've seen. I don't think he and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used.
This is all rather baffling. Let's take the canvas back to the triptych. Perhaps the answers are there. This place is odd, to be sure, but I'm fascinated by it. Now, for the trek back out of here and to Hogwarts.
Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around.
And now for the moment of truth.
It has to fit. Please tell me you recognize the location in this bit of canvas.
The good news is I do, in fact.
And the bad news?
We're in for more trouble. I know that coast. Ranrock has taken over a huge mine in the surrounding area. Marrenweem has suffered for it. It's as bad as Feldcroft's become. Should we head there now?
We should wait.
Why?
All this time, we've been a step behind Ranrock. I may know someone who could help us get ahead.
Who is that?
Someone who knows Ranrock personally. They asked me not to mention their name to anyone.
A goblin? Tell me I'm wrong. You know goblins cursed my sister to shut her up. Said she should be seen and not heard.
I do, but not all goblins are...
Not all goblins what? Have you forgotten Feldcroft? Have you forgotten the mine we just went through?
No, Sebastian, I haven't. You're not listening to me.
Why would I listen to someone so ignorant?
Perhaps your uncle was right about you. You don't know when to stop.
Oh, I do know when to stop. Unbelievable.
I mean, I do think his uncle, I think Ominous are both right. And, you know, I just had to put my foot down there, you know, even if it's not what Sebastian wants to hear. You know, we gotta let him know. We gotta let him know that delving into the dark arts isn't a great thing. But, you know, we're starting to build that triptych, and I'm sure that'll come in quite handy.
I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Come by Spin Witches as soon as you can.
Alrighty, well, looks like we can go back to the map chamber now, but we're starting to set up the ending of the game. I think we're heading towards that point, the last chapter, so to speak, of the game, so really excited about that. You know, like, subscribe if you're really enjoying this series, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.